today's webisode we're going to be talking about laptop bags, and I have here 3 laptop bags that I've gone through a bit of a journey picking out and wanted to do a review. I've also written a blog about these laptop bags that you can find on my website, and I'll put the link down below in the description so you guys can access that blog. So what we have here is 3 bags. This first bag here is the BBP Hauler Hybrid, and I've had this bag for a long time, for over a decade, and I'm going to talk about it first, and then we're going to go into this is the Samsonite Viz Air, V-I-Z Air, and we're going to talk about that one next, and then finally the last bag we're going to talk about is this Timbuktu Authority pack, which is the bag I use most right now. So I'm going to go through all of these, but first we're going to talk about the BBP Hauler Hybrid. I've had this bag, as I said, for over a decade. This is a moss green one. It's a messenger style bag, but it has a unique shoulder strap, shoulder harness setup. I don't know if you can catch that in the video or not, that allows the bag to sit very low on your back. So it'll sit way down on your lumbar. Has this large pad that cushions it against your lumbar and puts the weight low. So it's a really comfortable bag to use. And I use this bag a ton. It has a flap set up at the front with these nice big plastic domes that you can open up. Inside, really simple. Now, all the bags from BBP had orange insides, and they claim that it was to contrast to make it easy to find things. So with that orange color, when you're looking for whatever you're looking for in there, generally most things aren't orange. It was really easy to find it because of the contrast. So this bag has 4mm sleeve in here of padded sleeve for up to a 15-inch laptop, and I used to carry my 15-inch MacBook Pro in here all the time. Then it has a large main compartment that has 2 additional pockets in here that you can put whatever you want into there, cables, chargers, whatever. You could carry a lot of stuff in here. The front pocket that zippers up holds business cards, has some room for some cables. You can see I have some cables in there, and a pen, couple pen holders, and then just a little pouch of room, as well as a tether for keys. And then finally, there's a front zippered pocket on top of that front compartment where you can hold cables and whatever you want stuffed in there. So this bag, even though it was small, would hold a ton of stuff. I liked it. It was comfortable to wear. It fit easily under an airplane seat. It was a great bag. The only problem I had with it, well, 2 problems really. This flap, if you set your bag down haphazardly or sort of on an angle, this flap sometimes would let things fall out. And I did lose a couple of things. I went back and was able to find them, but I would drop it down, under the boardroom table. Something would fall out because the flap is so open on the sides here, and then I'd have to go back and try and retrace my steps and find whatever I lost. So, running into that problem, the other issue, as I mentioned, there was 2 issues. No external water bottle holder, so you couldn't bring a drink with you. You couldn't, you could put it inside the pocket and have it kind of stick out like this here. The problem with that is I was always worried about it spilling or leaking, and with my electronics in there, I didn't want to take that chance. So, knowing that I potentially would lose things over time, just for my clumsiness of dumping the bag down and then going on my way and not making sure everything was still in there because of the way that this flap is designed, I went on a journey to sort of look for something different. So, knowing I was getting rid of this bag that I used for over a decade, I settled on this Samsonite not Samsung. So this is a Samsonite Viz Air. I don't think they make the Viz Air anymore. It's 2 years old. I believe there's a Viz Air 2 now that's very similar. This one is black with blue trim. It looks more like a standard knapsack. Really nice bag, holds a ton of stuff. Has 2 outside pockets for water bottles. They kind of elastic in there. Really unique feature about this bag, it has these, they call it Viz Air protection. They're like little honeycomb plastic insert honeycombs that are full of air, and they're bumpers on the bottom here, so that if you drop your backpack roughly or whatever, that it protects the laptop, because this is right where the bottom of the laptop would sit. Also has a feature for putting under airplane seats where you can tuck the straps into this strap here, so it makes it easy to slide the bag in without the straps getting in the way. So we'll start at the front of the bag. A nice handy pocket that I loved and I used all the time. It's deep enough that you could put a camera or your sunglasses or whatever you wanted in here. I usually put stuff in there that I needed to grab quickly, like keys, ID badges, that sort of thing. So I like that little pocket. It was a great feature. The front pocket, and I don't know if you can see, there's a mesh zippered pocket here on this side of the flap. And then inside, there's business card holders, pen holders, and then it's padded fleece-like material. If I don't know if you can see it, this blue material. So there's a padded sleeve in here that you can put your tablet in, which I really liked. I generally go and travel with my tablet whenever I go anywhere. The main interior compartment has a ton of space in it. You can see how wide it opens. It has 2 mesh pockets inside here, as well as a sleeve where you can put notepads, and another mesh pocket on this side just to gather cables or whatever it is that you have in there that you want to gather. So lots of room, big capacity. And then finally, the laptop compartment is really thickly padded. So I don't know if you can see on the back, because they're black on black. Pull this strap out. There's these 2 thick pads here, as well as a pad here, plus this honeycomb bumper that's on the bottom. It makes for a really thick padded fleece inside to hold your laptop, and it opens really wide, so you can put a 15-inch laptop in here. And then I really liked that there's this pocket right here for cables, dongles, whatever you want to put in there. I always kept a couple of dongles in there that I used all the time. It was really handy to put that stuff in there. So this was a great bag. I was really happy I bought it. I went on a couple of trips with it. I used it as a daily bag, and then I ran into a problem. I was away with my wife in New York City, had this bag on, went into the washroom, came out of the washroom, and the main compartment of this bag and the back laptop compartment were unzipped while I was in the washroom. So while I was on my back, somebody unzipped it. So I was walking around with it open. Now, fortunately, the would-be thieves weren't able to, they got it unzipped, but they weren't able to take anything from it. And I just got to thinking, it's really an accessible bag. It's easy to get to, easy to get things in and out of. The pockets open really wide. So when I'm traveling, I want something a little bit more secure. So I relegated this Samsonite Viz Air bag as my daily bag. I just use around town and going to work and whatever. So I relegated it to that. Went on the hunt for something a little more secure when I'm traveling. So I settled on this. This is the Timbuktu Authority bag, Authority pack. The reason I picked it specifically, Timbuktu has a great reputation. It's a great bag. Don't get me wrong, Samsonite makes a great product. That bag is stood up. It holds a ton of stuff. If you were traveling, you weren't worried about so much about thieves and people getting into your bag, that's a great bag to use. But I was worried about people getting in there while I'm traveling after I had that scare in New York City. So I settled on this bag because I liked that the laptop portion of it, which is at the rear, just like the Samsonite bag, only opened this top mouth. That's it. So if it's on my back and strapped in and someone unzips it, it is really super hard to get into that laptop compartment of the bag. Now I have in here a 13-inch in-case slim sleeve for my MacBook Air. I always put my laptops in a sleeve even when they're in a padded compartment. I just like the extra protection. It doesn't hurt to have that extra protection. So I really like this. That's as far as it opened, and when it's compressed on your back, it's really hard for someone to get in there without you noticing. A couple other features of this bag: it only has one water bottle pocket. It's like a neoprene fabric. It does a good job. Holds the drinks in there well. The main compartment has a great capacity. There's a sleeve where I keep a notebook. I always carry these, and this is another thing. In addition to the laptop sleeve that I put into the bags, I always carry a cable bag. And this bag holds all of the cables I could use, all the dongles. So I'm talking lightning cables, chargers for my iWatch, USB-C to USB, USB-C to HDMI, USB-C to VGA, anything that I use when I'm presenting or I may need, I have a dongle in here for it, because I've done enough presentations at enough conferences that I bring my own stuff. It comes in handy. I don't have to worry about it when I get to the conference. The other thing is in there is like a USB thumb drives and any cables I could use, like a cable, micro USB, anything like that I might need to charge, like my Beats headphones, which is another thing I always carry in here. My Beats Solo 3 headphones, as well as I carry an HDMI cable for presentations just in case I need it, as well as the long tail for my MacBook Air power brick, because you never know when you need that little bit of extra reach. I've got it in my bag. So those are some things I carry with me all the time, and this bag holds that stuff beautifully. Now, a couple other pockets in this. There's another front compartment. This front compartment has a couple of nylon mesh pockets, place to keep your business cards, a few pen holders, a lot of capacity here if you want to shove some cables. I keep in here a running band for my my iPhone, so if I want to go for a run, I can take my iPhone and put it in there, and I always have it. And then there's a front zippered pack compartment in here that I shove in, you know, gum, a soft cloth for my glasses, and there's a tether here if you want to hold your keys. Finally, one of the last features of this bag is it has these two straps right on the bottom of the bag. They're intended, I believe, for if you wanted to put a jacket, you could roll it up, put it there, but I think mainly they're intended for an umbrella. This is a great bag. When I travel to the States and I'm flying, I need to bring my Canon SL2 Rebel EOS camera. So I bring it with its kit lens. It's 18mm to 55mm lens, as well as a 50mm lens. I bring my shotgun mic. I bring my little mini tripod with me that makes it easy to hold the camera and use it. So this will fit all of that in there. It's a good bag, good capacity, fits under plane seats really well, and I really like that people will have a hard time getting into the into that laptop compartment just because that's as far as it zips. So I've worn this bag a couple of times to New York City, walked around, never had an issue with anyone trying to get into it. So I'm not saying it's completely fail safe, because I'm sure if someone's good enough, they probably could get into it. But it works really well for what I'm using it for. And I just find the accessibility of the Samsung when I'm traveling isn't as great as the security as the Timbuktu. Now, having said that, all of these bags that I have, this is the newest one, this Timbuktu. It is a year old. The Samsonite Viz Air is 2 years old, and the BBP Hauler Hybrid is about a decade old. So they've been put through some travel, they've put through some torture, shoved under planes, put into the back of cars, shoved under planes, shoved under plane seats. I don't shove them under the plane. Put into the back of cars and stuffed into trunks and all of that sort of stuff. I haven't had any issues with seams coming apart. I haven't had any issues with buckles breaking, with zippers jamming or splitting. They are all high quality products. If I had to buy one over again, this is the one I would buy. This is the one I like the most. It's got a great footprint, it's got great security, it's got great protection for your electronics. It's comfortable to wear. The only thing I don't like about this bag is this sternum strap. Believe it or not, it's adjustable, so you can raise it up and down in these straps. And I find even at its lowest setting, when it's on, it's sitting right about here. It just feels uncomfortable, like it's too far up on your sternum. So I wish that was lower. Other than that, great bag. No padded tablet sleeve like the Samsonite bag has, but that's okay. I put my tablet in the laptop compartment. It fits in there fine, and it's padded and protected, and I travel with it in a portfolio case anyway, so that's also added protection. So, and whenever I put my camera into this bag and take it without taking the actual designated camera bag, I always take it apart. So I'll take the lenses off the body, and I wrap the lenses into some little bubble wrap, as well as protect the camera body and put it into this bag, into the main compartment. So there's a few things that I do to protect it, because the camera's just kind of sitting in here, and I'm generally pretty ginger with it when I know what's in that capacity. Once I get off the plane and I'm not in that sort of packed up mode, what I'll do is I have a little a belt clip for my camera that allows me to easily put it in and out of my belt in a sort of a quick release. And it works well for carrying the camera around, so I'm not banging it around in this bag once I've landed. So great bags overall. And as a freelancer and quasi vlogger, these are really important to me, these bags. I travel quite a bit. I do a lot of conferences. I also, am a freelancer, so I have my own home studio, but I also sometimes like to work at coffee shops and whatever. So I'm always using these bags weekly, and they've come through, they're handy. I keep all my cables. I have cable bags for each of the Samsonite and also the Timbuktu bag, so that I'm not having to switch cable bags all the time. I just keep a bag in here with cables and a bag into my Samsonite Viz Air with cables, so I can just grab and go. So having said that, when I do work outside of my home studio, I do like to use a, just trying to pull it up here, I do like to use a VPN, Express VPN. It's fairly reasonable price-wise. It works really well. I've used it locally, just at a coffee shop like Starbucks. I've also used it abroad, in hotels. Whenever I'm on a network that's not my own, I'll turn on ExpressVPN. I find that it doesn't affect my speed as far as how fast the internet's working for me. If it's a slow connection, it's a slow connection. If it's a fast connection, it's a fast connection. And in some cases, I've found at our local Starbucks that when I used Express VPN, it seems like it's even a little bit quicker than it was without using it. So anyways, that may be just in my head, but that's the way it seems sometimes. So I'm not an affiliate for Express VPN. I've bought this product, I've used it, I really like it. So I would encourage you to use a VPN if you're traveling. So that's it for this webisode. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and we'll catch you for the next episode.